Cool. Itch your nose again. God, there's a universal truth about speed running any VR game. It's you always get an itchy nose as soon as you put on the headset. Yeah. Hello, SGDQ review. Hello, SGDQ 2018 Submission review people. Hello, my name's ipie4fun, and I'm submitting Job Simulator, the 2050 archives, to be run at SGDQ 2018 this year, in the hopefully VR block, unless we're not doing that, then just as a general run. Yeah. Now, I'm fairly bad at live commentary, so I'm going to tell you that. Most likely this will be overdubbed. If not, it's because I probably didn't have time to overdub it, seeing how late I am recording this. However, just know that if this is the live commentary version, the commentary will probably be a lot better. This is just me trying to say everything as I do everything, which I'm not very good at. Plus, I already have people that I'm trying to get lined up to potentially commentate for me if I do get selected, and so the commentary will be a lot better during the actual run. So anyways, a donation incentive that I do want to have during this is a donation incentive for me to run the 100%. The timing's a little bit different, and this is the all jobs any percent. So it's the closest thing we actually have to like just an any percent in this game. So any percent timing starts at when we start loading into one of these levels. Timing ends when we finish the last task of the last job, and 100% starts at grabbing this card and ends at getting the last achievement, if we're doing achievements. But it's basically just loading into a job with a job cartridge, which or a job mod on it, which doesn't make any sense, but as of right now, if you've never seen the game, that's not important.
All right. Why don't you grab one of the job cartridges off the table and let's get started.
So anyways, I'm gonna explain something real quick. First off, it's fastest if I do auto mechanic first.
Get under the hood and get your hands dirty in our simulated mechanics shop.
Shut up. Anyways, it's quicker to do auto mechanic first, because if you saw, these job cartridges were out here, which is out of bounds in my play area, so it's very hard to reach the auto mechanic, meaning I have to wait for the cart to move forward. So it's fastest if I put it here, because I can actually reach office worker and gourmet chef, and sometimes store clerk, just by reaching out of bounds. And every time you come back to this hub after completing a job, those will always start out of bounds there. So it's slightly faster if we start with auto mechanic, since timing doesn't start until I pull the lever and then press the menu button. Another thing is, this game is comprised up of 4 jobs, and each job has a set of tasks that have to be done in order. It ranges, I believe, between 12 and 17 tasks, depending on the job, and each task is comprised of subtasks that you have to do for the most part in order. For example, a task could be eating breakfast, and the subtask would be pouring coffee and then drinking it, and then opening a box of donuts and eating a donut. After you complete those subtasks, generally in order, then you have completed the task of eating breakfast. That's basically the entire game in a nutshell. However, there are quite a few skips and stuff, and basically always the most hectic part of each jobs in terms of the speed run is at the very beginning, so it's going to be hard for me to explain everything at the very beginning of these jobs, but I don't know, wish me luck. Anyways, it looks like we're loading in right now, but we're not.
You gotta know how to get back here. You don't want to get lost in a virtual reality.
I'm gonna start the timer.
To come back.
We're gonna start here in just a second.
Hit this button.
There we go.
Time to jump.
So the very first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab an energy drink and shake it up. This will be used later in the job, but we're going to use this for all fluids. Now, this thing right here, that thing makes hood ornaments. So we're going to throw 2 pistons in there and makes hood ornaments, and we're going to grab these 2 batteries, just throw it on the floor. This chain activates the tasks, the tasks, and starts each task. So we're going to have to pull that every time before each task. Now this person, they need some fluid, so we're going to put some fluid in the car.
Please take a look.
That makes sense. And changing the battery.
This spot just needs a little fluid. No problem.
After that, we're going to
Well
drop the
done.
car
That's looking very
and print the
Press
receipt.
button to drop it. In shops like these, everything had a price. Make sure you bill the customer.
These
for the use
batteries
of your
down here will be
highly
used
valuable
later.
time.
Oh,
So
Thank
at
you,
the very
Henry.
end of each
I'll get
task,
this
we
taken
have,
care of
or
right
at the
away.
very end of each task in the auto mechanic, we must drop the
Good,
car
human,
and
but we're
print the
just getting
receipt.
started. The
Since
world
we
of
changed the
auto
stash.
mechanic has so much more to offer.
Alright, so here the very first thing we're going to do with this car is we're going to take off this headlight and pour some fluid in it. That will be used to skip some dialogue and do a small skip. Next we have to strip these pistons and then close the hood, put that in, and go to the back of the car. And so putting sugar and the gas tank to sabotage the car. That's what mechanics do. They sabotage your car.
Now this spot's got a Cooper, so let's take real good care of him by
Waiting for a dialogue trigger.
sabotaging that car and making him come back later for more work.
Anyways, if you notice, I always change it to the back when I drop the car, and that's simply whenever you hit it doesn't matter what orientation the car is when you hit the drop car button, but it will always make sure to flip to the back side before it drops and opens the print receipt. So by switching it to back before I hit the drop car, I am saving a little bit of
You did
time.
all right, human. Now you keep at it. I'll be in the back counting the money.
Alright, so here we're going to use a hood ornament. We had to repair this car. All we had to do is replace the hood ornament, replace the headlights,
Well, I
give
just
a new
got
paint
this
job,
unique local
and
junk
give it a
that
new
just
air
needs
filter.
to wear gloves so I can drive legally. What do you say?
Yeah, that's that.
Oh, wait. Now, well, that looks good as new. Makes that old hood ornament look
Aesthetically displeasing.
think you can, well, reboot my hard drive. It's like a whole new car. Drop it down and give me that bill so I can show it off to my buddies.
Sometimes these buttons are a little fiddly.
Thank you kindly, human.
Okay, so we go back to stash now. We're gonna have a taxi, and the taxi is a little bit weird. Like, you have to put a banana in the tailpipe, I think it's called. However, the trigger for that is a little bit weird. If you put it in too early, it won't count it. If you put it in too late, you aren't able to skip some dialogues.
Hello.
So I'm gonna do a safe run, which I
required by
repeatedly
law
put it in
to
there.
do emissions test on my vehicle?
Oh, that's
Get
not
it
right.
done so I can get out of this dump. This looks like a lot of work. Let's see if we can figure out a shortcut. Check my
There we go.
stash. See
That
if
should be
there's
good.
anything in there
That was a little bit more than necessary, but that's because it didn't
Back when
switch to the
cars
back.
were driven by humans, drivers would use air
Yes.
fresheners
Get the
to
air
improve
freshener in
the
there.
breathing quality of the air within the vehicle.
Drop the car. And print the receipt.
So, does this mean I passed? Well, I did my part. Catch you later, human.
Next one I need to go to is license. It's tires. Alright, so we're gonna pour some fluid to cool down their engine, but we're gonna do it through the hood because we can do that.
My tires are shot, and I need some replacements.
Now we need to go to the back here, and it skips us a little bit of time if we go to the side and throw a tire in the back because we have to do that anyways.
Things are looking a
There we
bit better, but I spilled my
We lost our
slushy on the way
fluid,
over
so
here.
let's just grab
Can you
another.
fill it up for me?
Before nutritional implants, humans also needed fluid.
Thanks, human. Maybe this day's gonna turn around for me after all. Anyway, drop my car down when you're done and let me see the damage. Oh, this is nothing compared to my student loans. Thanks for getting me back on the road.
I believe now it's licensed.
Back in the age of capitalism, shops like this would be hesitant to question a
This
customer's
is Bandit
needs.
Bot, and we're gonna be replacing parts of his car, giving a new paint
Hey,
job.
Ewan, I need an
Whatnot.
emergency paint job. I suddenly decided I hate the color of this car. Totally normal thing. to
We're
do.
gonna give him some gas, and then it's gonna ask us to do the license again, even though we already put it in. The gas is a little fiddly.
Great. Let's wrap this up.
But anyways, we can just
Giving
spam
me a
this
new license
to make
plate?
sure that it's considered
Perfect.
placed
Just
at
finish
the
up
soonest
whatever
point
you're doing and
possible.
drop the car so I can leave normally. Okay, just give me the bill. You know I've got the cheddar.
It has the cheddar, guys.
You never saw me, all right?
Yeah. Alright, so this is car show, which means I need to put that on decor.
Hey, human. I'm participating in a car show tonight, and I want to look my best. Think you can give my car a looking at?
Anyways, we just have to replace 3 things. So I do the paint, the license plate, and the headlight. And I'm just spamming the headlight and the license plate so that way they trigger as soon as possible. I guess it's... Hey, there we go, backup struts.
Nice. Looks and smells fresh.
Family, it didn't count either the headlight or the license plate, so that's a quick backup strat.
Hey, you know what? You did a pretty good job with this. Just hand me the bill and I'm out of here.
So, you're just supposed to replace 3 things, and usually by spamming the license plate and the headlight, after painting the car, it's considered the 3, but for some reason it didn't. That's alright. We have backup strats.
Okay, human.
Now, this is a little race sign or whatever, it's advertising,
We're guaranteed to
but we just have to hang one thing on each of these little
This is the
things.
sign we're gonna put out. Here's some old paints I had lying
Now, he's going to give us some
around.
paints, and we have to paint something, so we just
Then
touch
hand me
paint
the
budge to
paintbrush
one of
when
these
you're done.
paints, and then to the sign. If I can... Okay, I picked it up bad, so I kept hitting my controller. There.
That looks, good
Oh
enough.
well.
Out it goes. Now we just sit
Usually
back and
better.
wait for the customers to come
So we
swarming
now
in.
need to change this to tires and set up like 3 tires here on either side.
Okay, so I was racing super fast as usual, and out of nowhere there was all this oil and debris.
So if I
spun
do
out
this
my
fast
car's
enough-
now. So what's the deal? Can you help me or what? Hurry up.
Yeah, there we go. If I do it before all the dialogue's finished, I get a small dialogue skip, and filling up the car is super easy for no adequately explained reason.
Interesting. If you're sure this will work, I trust you. Okay, now it's time to
I don't think I actually need the fluid anymore, but just in
Let's
case.
go. See ya.
Anyways, it's slightly faster if you jump to grab this chain to pull it down. However, due to there being a ceiling fan above me, I can't do that. Alright, so here's where we grabbed all the batteries and placed them down here for. We have to replace 3 batteries here.
Can you help me clean out my truck?
So we do 1 here as we wait for dialogue. Now we have to put
I'm picking up some weird
an air freshener up there and clear out the car. So we do that.
That's looking a
But it
lot
takes time to
better.
switch that and for it to come up to get to the batteries. So I
Could you switch
grab the
my
batteries and put them on the floor beforehand at the very beginning of the run, so that way it's slightly faster. I want to give a quick shout out to
That looks good.
Chino
I'll see
for
what I
coming
can
up with
do
all
about
the
this
auto mechanic
deal.
strats. And like, he came up with like another strat for one part of Gourmet Chef, but he pretty much routed the entire auto mechanic. Alright, so this is Shop. We just have to strip 8 things from the car. So there's 2, 3,
Hey, silly spot.
4,
I got the car just
5,
like you asked. Let's hurry up and get to work
7,
before he comes
10.
looking for it.
That's 10.
Oh, human.
Oh, yeah, this is,
We got to, strip this thing down for parts. Or
So you only have to do 8, but I go ahead and do like everything possible.
Hello, here he comes. Act
Because we have to wait for dialogue anyway, so I just like to go the extra mile.
You to get it tuned up for me like this? It's great. Are you done with it? Can I drive it home? A free tune-up? This is the best valet service ever.
Nice job.
Boy.
I'll be back for my share of the earnings later.
let's just call that last job a
At this point, I can just keep this on decor. It doesn't need to switch it off.
Never saw anything, all right?
Alright.
Wow.
So here we have to take all the branches and stuff off. And take this, symbol percent.
Gotta help me, human. I took my dad's car out last night with my friends, and now
So you
it's a
bring this to the
mess.
left front
It's gonna kill
and
me.
put it in reverse. And hit the gas to reverse the mileage counter. That's definitely how that works. Anyways, we also have to take out all the evidence in the back.
All the time when I was a kid. just...
Okay, great. Just
some good times,
do
you know, we got
anything
some
you
good
gotta do.
times.
Just bill me when you're done. I still have my dad's credit card, so...
That's some good times, that's all. That's all, Liz, good times. Nothing,
Oh, thanks,
nothing
Human.
questionable about
I'll
it.
get this squared away later. You're the best.
Yeah. Alright, so this car we have to give it a paint job, put an air freshener in it, put a horn in the tailpipe, and put a wood ornament, specifically in that order. This one's a little weird. We have to wait for a little dialogue trigger before we put in the air freshener.
Right. Interesting, solid choice. I feel that. I'm all about the cosmetics.
Now, if we put in the hood
You gotta
ornament too
stand out.
fast or beforehand, then we have to turn the car back around and put it in anyways again.
Yo, my hood's
So,
looking empty.
we have
You
to
gotta
do it
help me
last. It's
spice
kind
it
of
up
dumb.
with some custom bling.
Eventually, this will trigger as complete. There we go.
Nice. This thing is looking
That
seriously
was weird.
sick. What is this? A bill? I'll get my dad to take care of this.
How did that go back in there? That actually makes no sense. Okay. Is this getting
Every
married?
year we have a float in the
Ah, this is a float. Okay.
We get to decorate
So this is just like the sign. We have to hang 8 things now. And then put 8 things in these little corners. Now he tells us to do a fresh coat of paint. However, it's faster if we do that last. It skips a little bit of dialogue, as well as it lets us turn to the back while we wait for the paint to come on. It's just faster than if we were to paint it before.
We're gonna get so much money from the mayor. Drop it when you're done, and we'll send it out.
Parades were celebratory events where humans drove slow processions of decorated vehicles in a line.
Okay, so this is just like Chop Shop, except with a living car. So strip 8 things. Again, I go for everything
Purchased this car
just because I can.
for the smoothie business. I was told it was a lemon, so I thought it would be great. I don't understand what's wrong with it. It's making a sound like... Could you take a look?
It's a very bad scent. You should really get that checked out.
Feel free to drop the vehicle when you feel it's unruly enough.
I'm going to have this passed off to my personal accountant to be taken
There you
care
go.
of. Have a highly functional day, human.
Got some lemons, pizza, cheese, money, a flower pot battery. It's all good. Got some good times. I might also have a horn, but hey. Roll for a good run. Oh, guess it's gonna be a good run.
I'm on my way to get married.
Natural
I thought you
20.
could help me decorate my car with some...
Following a marriage
So here we just have to hang 4 things off the back here. If I can do that. One on that
I think we need more debris. Debris
antenna,
equals love.
and then
Inside,
one thing inside,
outside, put it everywhere.
and go back to the back.
Looks amazing.
Now here's a very
Now, for one
inconsistent
last
part of the
mission,
run. We had to
bring
break a bottle
of my
of
family's
grape
on the
juice.
car.
However, it never wants to break, so it's
You've
very
done
weird.
so much for
Then we
us.
had to put a
It
gift
kinda
in,
feels
so we're
like
just
you're
gonna
part
put
of
some
the wedding
good
party
times
now.
in the trunk.
Do you have a gift for us? You can just... Oh, wow! A gift? You shouldn't have.
1431. That's not the
Get a
worst.
discount on this, buddy. Wedding jobs are double price.
Oh,
And yep, that's on the mechanic.
I'll sort this out. Gotta get going.
Hello, human.
Next we're gonna do store clerk.
Slushies and hot dogs? You'll love the convenience store.
So the first thing that we have to do is we have to clear this off. This is a small skip if we do it beforehand.
Hello, human.
Since it's considered one of the jobs, however, if we complete it now, it just skips on to the next thing. We're also going to go to the snacks over here and take out 2 candy bars and some chips for a small skip. Grab the tickets, scan the chips, put them there.
Let's get to business.
Grab some hot dogs
Here's your
and put them
first
on.
customer.
Yep. Now, this person wants a hot dog, however, we had to wait a little bit for dialogue before we can make it.
Looks, thanks a bunch. All right, here's your paper currency.
Alright, so we're going to do a small skip here.
Don't forget to hand over the
There,
change.
keep the dollar.
Day.
What we do is we close it, and then we slip a dollar in there, because we can actually
It was
put
important for
items
stores like this to maintain a constant stream
and
of
some
customers,
objects.
so that cashiers
And
wouldn't have time to contemplate their rapidly approaching
It's not something I can
obsolescence.
explain right now while it's a lot of stuff's going on. Anyways, we do that to skip a little bit of dialogue,
Much better.
and we had to jumbo size this.
Would you kindly jumbo size that? Oh, I love
And
it. Oh, you're very good
there.
at scanning. Now, would you pass? And here's some ta-ta.
It's a lot at the very beginning. Anyways, this next person is Grandma, so they want a scratch-off ticket and some yesterday's news.
I'll take a paper copy. Oh dear, I'm feeling a little
got slow,
faint
Grandma.
today, dearie. Do you think you could scratch that lottery ticket for me?
So we
You
had to
can
wait
use
for the
my
check.
quarter.
Now, normally we would
Just
slip the dollar
write
in,
you a
however,
check
this
for those.
Grandma actually uses a check,
There we are.
and so it checks for if the check is in the register.
Oh, what a kind
So we
young
can't skip it with
human
a
you
dollar.
are. Have a lovely day.
However, so at the very end, what you have to do is you have to pull this lever to finalize the sale,
Yeah, bro.
put a dollar in,
They're looking at me like
and
I'm
then
crazy, you know? What are you talking?
you have to put a dollar in, and then close the register. However,
you.
like I said, we can slip stuff in here,
I was talking, not you.
just kind of phases through.
No.
It's hard to explain this with so much going on.
No matter how irritating the customer, humans
And,
were required to smile and be polite.
I'm just gonna move on to the next task. I'll explain it a little bit later when I have more time.
Oh, my little
Here's a banana.
angel.
We can just grab it before they give it to us.
Banana up there for the human. Now you stay here for a minute, dearie. Mommy needs to use the
Now,
little
this
box
bot
room.
wants sugar, so we have to hand it sugary items.
Dearie, why don't you hand the human the money?
You did the right thing there,
All right,
human.
human.
Alright, so I believe the
Whatever
next...
the customer.
What did you do to my darling? Come back here.
I go to display. That set display basically put 4 soda cans in.
This place is looking sick, but you know what it needs? More maximum energy branding. Yeah, that's the one. Let's max. If you're
Alright, if
all
I hit this
done,
button
just
to
hit
lock
that
it
button and
in
let's
too early,
lock
it
this
actually
thing
soft
in.
locks, so 1001, 1002. Hopefully that won't soft lock. Yeah. Now we have to wait for dialogue trigger.
Over here. I need something. I guess I can make this work. Yeah, I'll be out in a second.
Alright, we need to switch this to fridge and pull out a soda can. And we're gonna shake it up with the next person and hit it over. So,
Let's see this display,
anyways, like I was saying,
human.
to finalize
Alright,
a sale, we have to pull this lever and then checks to see if we put the dollar in and have shut the register. It doesn't actually check it if in that order, so I can close it in, wedge the dollar in, and so the dollar will consider the task complete. There we go.
I feel energized.
So it will consider the task complete. However, the time that it takes away the dollar is when you put it in and then close it. So if the dollar's not in there when the cash register closes, it doesn't take away the dollar, and therefore we're able to grab it out afterwards.
Looks like I've got some money to blow.
So we use that a lot in this. However, there's only 2 points in which that we can't use that, and it's for Grandma and this bot, because this bot will give us the $5 and it checks to see if the $5 is in the register,
Perfect.
while
Here's
Grandma's to
a bunch
check.
of money. Keep the change.
So yeah, it's that.
Nothing like a little retail therapy. Make sure you grab their money.
Alright, so here we have to restock. It's fastest if we do gum first,
Did you weekly deliver stuff from the
because
shelves and
that
stuff?
locks into place.
Well, there you go. You know the drill. Gum in the gum rack.
And magazines are the most easily. They can easily, the magazines can easily fall off of the stand that they're supposed to be on. So if we do it last, then, and with everything else in place, then when we put those in, it triggers the task complete, even if they end up falling off afterwards.
Hey, I don't have any money.
Well, this bot has no money, so we give them this popsicle for free.
I wasn't expecting to actually get something.
And then we have to hand him some change as
If
well.
you're able to,
However, I'm kind of
I get a
uncomfortable just
change
giving him this
too?
stuff for free,
Wow,
so
thanks.
I'm just
You're
gonna
a
take it
really
back,
good
actually.
person. I'll be going now.
Also took his hat and glasses. I kind of feel bad for that. Not really for the hat, I like the hat, but the glasses I do feel bad for.
Hello there, human.
Not sure if I want to give it back, though.
I've got a coin here for you.
Oh, Okay, if you're gonna pay me a coin, there you go.
Pleasure doing business with
Actually,
you.
I kind of want the glasses back.
Sometimes it was necessary to make
It's one
special
thing I
deals
do.
with customers like this to assure their Oh no!
Okay.
Here comes trouble.
See, I'm gonna buy a new pair of later, chump.
Yeah, that's fast enough. That's Bandit Bot. We just opened the safe and give him cheddar. Wait, so this guy wants the burrito. However, we have to get him. There we go.
Hey. Here's your money.
Anyways, that's the last cash transaction that we have to do.
Don't forget to put that wow
So, yeah.
there. I haven't
Don't
seen a
need
mess
that.
this big since the human uprising of 2027.
So the next part is we have to clean the store, and we just have to clean up 4 of those little splotches on the ground with this bot. So we've optimized this to do the fastest 4.
This
like that.
robot, that's good enough for now, I think. Just pull the key out to deactivate the robot, and we'll move on to our next customer.
So this person wants fireworks. They're a bunch of kids, and it's illegal to buy fireworks as you know, a child.
I'm an adult robot.
So they're gonna give us a fake ID.
I'd like to purchase some fireworks.
Remember, kids, it's okay if you have a fake ID.
Something about this seems
No,
a
it's not.
little
Don't.
bit strange. You should
A little
probably
bit strange,
check their
eh?
ID.
Oh yeah, ID. No problem.
Yeah.
I got that right here.
So
Check it out with your
yep,
universal
that's not a real ID.
No, wait, that's the wrong one. Try this one.
Oh, that's considered real.
Come here, we're totally gonna get away with this. Shut up, Julie. Oh, nice. Oh no, let's book it. I can't go back to jail.
That was that.
That was strange, but the most important thing is that the product is safe. Let's move on.
Alright, so here's the
Good
cop
evening,
bot.
human. I understand you were held at Banana Point earlier this evening.
We've captured the suspects. We just need you to point out who did it.
So this is when we got. This is about when we got robbed
Let me make it
earlier
simple for you.
by
Here are the 3 suspects.
Bandit Bot.
Just
However,
tell
Grandma
me
gave us
one
a
who
slow
did it.
grandma, so we're gonna
Make
turn
sure
her in.
You're certain. Well, I guess you can't judge a bot by...
Anyways, now on to Gourmet Chef. Almost grabbed that.
Do I see an aspiring chef?
So here we're gonna do quite a lot at the start. We're gonna turn on the grill and fill this kettle up with water.
Hello, human. This
Grab
is
some
an
bacon and
accurate
eggs.
simulation of Gourmet chef. We'll start by making
The very
some
first task
breakfast.
is to make
Turn on the
bacon and
grill,
eggs,
now
so
put
there's
your
that.
creations on the plate
Now we need to
and
put
ring
that
the bell to send it out
right
to the
there and
restaurant.
move it to the blender for the next task
The
here.
smoothie
Gotta make a smoothie.
Pour it out into a cup and then we can serve it.
There's that. We need to change this back to the sink and put that to the not cold section. We have to fill up a cup with water and put a tea bag in. This skips it because what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to wait to get a tea bag from him.
Might I trouble you for some tea and crumpets?
Tea is a traditional human beverage consisting of
I can't
heated
explain this
water
in time.
and flavor. Let's begin. To cook flat items, humans use devices called
Anyways,
toaster.
yeah, we're gonna go make some soup with the tea that we made from the kettle. We just pour a little bit of that in, and yeah.
Let's try
We
making
made
some soup.
tea
As
kettle
you
and
can
tea
see,
soup.
There are several different kinds. Just like Mombot used to
Now
make.
here we have to make a sandwich. It's just any 4 items on the spike. We'll consider a sandwich after putting it all up on top. So
I'm trying to cut down on gluten, but that looks pretty sandwich.
let's try and cook it down good, but it's just too much sandwich, you know? Which makes no sense since they're all fruit.
Yes, bonjour. Today I brought you a very rare steak. It is a 1984 vintage.
Guys, we gotta prepare this vintage steak. Overcook it, actually.
Please, human, do continue. I do wish for it to be well done. Très bien. Ah, yes.
Yep, there we go. Alright.
Quite well done. Now,
We also had to pour grape juice, but since I was doing that all the time, then they made sure to
Wait
pass
a
that part
second.
at the earliest
Before you
part
plate
possible.
that, did you realize that was famed meat aficionado Meatbot?
That was
We better
Meatbot?
make
Oh
sure
no.
our service is exceptional.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Better
bribe
serve
him.
this on the plate too.
Yeah, sometimes that's a little tricky. Anyways, the next thing we need to do is make some pizza, so we're can get that started now. It's just bread with tomato and cheese, right? That's all it is.
Hello,
right?
It's my little Timmy Bot's
Yeah.
birthday. Can we get some pizza for the kids?
Pizza is generally defined as a combination of bread, tomato, and cheese. Chefs would put their own twist on the dish, adding additional food items known as toppings.
So that's that. However, Timmy Bot over there is allergic to tomato, so he can't have pizza. So we're gonna make pizza except with apple. So we're gonna make applesauce instead of tomato sauce. However, he's also allergic to worms, so we don't put it in the microwave.
Could you make a special
We're gonna give him a little special treat.
Pizza, Timmy?
I want sauce. That sauce. Make me applesauce.
Oh, one more thing. Timmy is also allergic
So we
to
just gotta
worms.
wait for some
Could
dialogue
you
here.
just serve the ingredients raw? Thank you.
So the next thing that we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be making a sandwich, but we're gonna be
Eat up, Timmy.
putting a ring
'Cause you
inside.
made it
However,
special for you.
again, all that matters for it to be counted as a sandwich is that it has an olive on top. So we're just gonna put a ring on the spike and then an olive, and it's gonna be a sandwich. And so that will happen just right here.
Human, can you help me out here? I'm trying to propose to my romantic partner. I want it to be a surprise. Can you hide this ring inside a sandwich or something?
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So he also wants some romantic
one more
music,
thing,
but he forgot to
I
burn
want
the
to have
disc.
some romantic
So we're
music
gonna
playing
put it
while
on
I
the
do
grill and
but
burn
I
it.
forgot to
Get
burn
it?
this disc.
Puns.
Could you
Okay.
burn it for me?
Now, I like this game because it answers the age-old question, is a hot dog a sandwich? And of course the answer is no, because a hot dog doesn't have an olive on
Make
top.
sure you load the disc into the boombox and hit play before you send out that sandwich. I'll take care of things from there.
This dialogue's pretty great, so I'm gonna be quiet here.
What's this, my dear? My sandwich feels much heavier than usual.
It's just a ring.
Huh. That's interesting. I wonder if there's something different inside?
I wonder,
What do you mean? What's this?
Oh my gosh, there's a ring inside right there? I can never have told.
Will you
enter a legally binding partnership
with me?
Oh, of course. I'm the happiest spot in the world.
Yeah, so that dialogue always plays, and so it's kind of funny. Since we don't actually make a sandwich, we just put a ring and an olive on top.
Well, the kids are all finished with their pizza, and now they're ready for cake.
Anyways,
We could
during
do
that
some
dialogue, I
birthday
made some
cake,
cakes. It was just flour and an egg, and like a literal flour. So yeah, that was that. Now, next thing we have to do is we have to clean some plates. So we weigh down the soap dispenser with the menu.
Okay, kids, let's get going.
Anyways, there's a funny thing that we can do if we spray the spot with
Hey, boss,
fire extinguisher.
that party left
During
a
this
few
dialogue, it
files
just
dirty
wanders
dishes.
off.
We're gonna need
So-
your help to get through these. They're pretty nasty, so make sure you use a good squirt of soap. Great,
Yeah,
thanks
that's
for your
that.
help.
Now it's super easy to break those, to break the plates actually, so that was fairly good.
You there! I need your help.
Okay, this is health inspector.
Inspector's on his way over, and I don't think we're gonna pass inspection.
So
You need to
here
clean
we
this
have
place
to
up.
blend up some fruit. Now I just want y'all all to know, remember what's in this blender.
All this old
So we have old fruit.
Okay, that's one thing to... I guess it's not working. Oh, well, what are the chances of there being a fire in here anyway? Now we need to deal with any potential... Yikes, that's not good. You need to do something about these
Now we
guys.
have some
Get rid of
bugs.
them quick. Well, I guess that'll have
As
to do.
well.
Here comes the health inspector.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody stop what you're doing. It's inspection time. Yes, interesting. It's questionable.
Anyways, we're also gonna put some fire extinguisher
Results.
in each of these cups.
And it looks like you've passed this time.
And each one also has a bug in it, a live bug. So yeah, just remember all this for
That
later.
was a close one. But now we can get back to business.
Hey, Chef!
There's a bot here to film an episode of some TV show with
Some
you?
spices in.
Well, they say it was already booked ahead of time, so... Well, just do whatever they say.
Yeah.
Hey, human! I'm TV Bot. We're doing a show on how these organic nutrient packs are made, so I just need to record some.
Alright, this is a reality TV. We're making a commercial here.
First step
So,
is to blend up this
we
protein pill.
blend up some protein, so now that has some protein in it.
Hey, okay, great, that was good. Now let's get a shot of you putting this flavor packet in the microwave. All right, it's in there. Close the door and let me get a shot. All right, everybody's following along at home. We got our fully expanded. Beautiful. Now just pour that blended protein fluid onto the cube, and we. Hey, thank you
Now we're gonna
so
start
much.
filling up these cups.
Great job, human. Really appreciate it. Oh, one more thing. Can I get a shot of you eating it? Just act like it's real delicious.
Hey, human, check this out.
Now for this
I
next
found
task, we
rare
have to
turbo
heat up this
Nova
ghost pepper.
Can you prepare for me? Come on, put some heat
He likes his
into it.
peppers hot, you know? So we're
Come on,
really
that's
just putting it in the microwave and then
Can't
on the
you do
grill.
something else?
Puns, get it. Anyways, there we go.
I guess that'll have to do. Give it here.
Hey, chef, we got 3 bots out here who ordered the special.
So,
I'm
these
not
3
sure
bots
what
want
that
the special,
means,
so
but
we're gonna
that's
give
what
them
they
these
want.
cups that we
Ordering the
prepared,
special.
full of
Placing your trust in the
fire
chef.
hide,
Just give those bots
fire
anything.
extinguisher stuff, rotten fruit,
Beautiful-looking meal,
bugs, with light bugs in it, the spices, and protein. You know, it's delicious.
They wanted something special, and they certainly got it.
Yes, they did,
cooking,
Jobot.
human.
Holy smokes, this is way too hot.
Oh, sounds like the guy with
So
the
this guy with the hot
from
pepper
earlier.
is now on fire, because the pepper was too hot. So we're just gonna put him out, and by putting him out, we somehow gave him his glasses back.
Save my circuits.
That's pretty cool, I guess. Usually good at throwing that. There we go. Now the last task here is we're gonna do a reality cooking show.
Just got word from the TV
And the very first thing that we need to do is we need to cook 3 meatballs. So, but we have to wait for dialogue. So I have 3 meatballs here and 3 backup meatballs, because we can do a small skip with the dialogue
In your own reality
if we turn the grill on and cook these at the right time.
Good work, human.
Okay, bots, let's get those cameras set up already.
Gonna report the remaining.
Ready to go, boss. You ready, human? Okay, bring in the talent.
Alright, so now we turn the grill on. So he's gonna give an introduction dialogue, but we're gonna have that interrupted by this
My neural network
dialogue.
associates them with literal garbage.
Okay, we'll start with the meatball scene.
So that saves a couple of seconds.
So are you going to serve them, or just let them sit there and get even more disgusting?
And that.
Truly despicable. My kids could cook a meal 100 times better than that, and they're graphing calculators.
Cut.
Alright, so we're gonna also turn on the grill to cook this bread slice at the right point, because it's gonna be freeform cooking, and
Alright,
we need to wait to a certain point in the
scene
dialogue to do
That's
it.
the freeform cooking part. And action.
You worthless chemical-based meatbag. Get to cooking. Make something
there
good.
we go.
Show us what you can do. If anything.
It's cooked just after the dialogue.
Meme. You about finished yet? Hurry up, serve it. That's what you call
Final,
it's a wrap,
that's a pretty
folks.
good gourmet chef. You can tell about how long you've done it because there's a clock in at least each one of these jobs that always starts at 9 o'clock. So anyways, here we're going to do a small skip where we're going to do a lot of things frantically. We're going to turn on the computer and monitor, log in and go to the email, drink this coffee that we made, and delete all of these emails before this paper even spawns in to start the job. Now, as long as we eat this donut fast enough, we have successfully skipped the first 2 tasks. And we've skipped to the 3rd.
Let's make some business.
Now,
I'm counting on you to paradigm shift.
in the future, one of the tasks is we're going to have to shred 8 things. However, grabbing 8 things around the office is kind of hard to do. So I just print off like a lot of discs
Promotion.
here and stack them up.
Wrong in the next 10 seconds? The job's yours. See?
We have to grab his glasses. Just skip some dialogue. Make everything go faster.
The promotion's yours.
Anyways, I need to take this promotion, so I'm just gonna spam that and throw it at him. Now the next thing that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to hire some bots. So we just opened the resume drawer. We think it's the fastest if we hire Bandit Bot followed by Hipster Bot.
You're climbing the ranks, and here comes Boss Bot. Looks like
Hello, human. I am Boss Bot. I notice you've logged in.
I'll keep that open
so
actually,
I'm
just in
here
case
to
if I
give
mess
you
this
your
up.
first task of the day. We need to bring some
That
new
was
bots
very
on
good.
board.
Now if I
So
pull
look
this
through your
paper too
resumes
early, it'll
and
actually soft lock the game. So we have to wait until Boss Bot is into the door, and we can grab it. Yeah.
Have you seen the latest sales report? This isn't good. Load up the old spreadsheet program and fix
So
these
here we had
numbers.
to fix our expense report by changing two things to a 0. Now, for people who played this casually, they might think it's faster to change the top number of our profits to a higher number rather than changing two of our expensives to a lower number. However, the higher number, you have to hit the keys like 7 times, while the lower number, it's just 2.
It's time for lunch.
Now, if you saw, I dug through the trash to grab these triangles. This is where we skip here. When we put in $1, we're like putting the dollar and we're supposed to choose a snack here, but since we've grabbed the triangles, we can just eat it immediately. Now this guy over here wants a candy bar, and so since we selected the candy bar, we don't even have to go through like the second half of this job where we put in $1 and we have to shake the machine to get the candy bar out. It just makes things a lot faster.
Hey, coworker, over here.
So now it's time for some memes.
Check out these hilarious pictures.
Y'all like memes, right? Memes are good? Look at all those memes. It's great. Memes. Yeah.
Hello, human. I'm looking forward to your presentation today on all of the
business
that we did in the last week.
Hey, that almost.
So Boss Bot wants you to do a presentation.
So here we
You'll
have
need
to do a
make some slides.
presentation.
Time to learn about
We're
an
just gonna
ancient
wing
human
it.
technique called
winging it.
So this is Power Dot,
Try
not
using
PowerPoint. This is Power
program on
Dot.
your computer.
Nope, okay, apparently I shut that. That's Now this is actually a very hard part of the Office Worker speedrun, and for IL levels, this is the major choke point. It's because you have to click this very specifically. If you're slightly off, then you will actually lose time to not clicking this fast enough. But yeah, we just go through and click stuff.
So, you ready to go through this presentation? Here's the clicker.
Just gonna connect
Use
to the internet real
button
quick.
to go through your slides.
Now here we actually have to wait for that symbol in the bottom right corner to disappear before we can click to the next slide. We're just gonna go
job,
do something
human.
real
That
quick.
was very
business.
It's very important that we did this, you know. Made a nice fidget spinner, and so we can throw it away.
Hey, human. Bot number.
10110.
So here we have to give
I wanted to give
a
them
gift.
idea. Everyone's pitching in.
So let's just give them the fidget spinner. And we also have to type a note, so we're just gonna do a blank note.
Appreciate.
However, we have to wait for an audio trigger.
Anyway, do you think you could type up? That looks good. I'll handle the rest.
Get a note.
Thanks for helping out.
Now we're gonna go ahead and go to photos, because in the next, not this next task, but the one afterwards, we're gonna need it. So it's easiest if I just go here now while I have some time.
things aren't going too well.
So we have to
We
fire
need
some
find
bots
a
now.
couple bots
Trump
before we
Simulator
go.
20, whatever this
Take
is.
a look at these employee
2015?
evaluations.
I think that's when the game came out. There we go. Now, unlike last time when we were hiring people, if we take the paper as soon as it spawns in over here, it won't soft lock.
First, my stapler gems.
Alright, so we're gonna now print this off, and we're gonna drink some water. Just by going like that. Now, you're supposed to grab a cup and put it under and hold the water, but it's faster if you just go underneath it to drink the water. Anyways, at this point, we no longer need the computer for any of the tasks. However, we do have to shred some stuff now.
Hey, look, I've got some papers I need you to shred. It has to be you for Legal reasons? I don't really want to get into it. Here, just
So here we have to shred this, and then shred 8 items here. It's actually only supposed to be 5. However, it's a little bit weird, so we're just gonna do 6 straps right there. Now, if you saw, there's books and cash in there. If you actually shred the cash before the books, it doesn't count it as complete. Like, you actually have to shred the books before the cash. It's really dumb. And you can actually soft lock there. However, it's kind of hard to soft lock. You actually have to be trying to soft lock.
Here's the thing.
Anyways, here's the very last task. We just gotta blow out these candles, get president promotion.
So I'd like to offer you a promotion.
I just kind of crouch down awkwardly right here so I can blow up the candles as soon as possible.
Looks like there's not enough cake for you.
Oh, there's not enough cake. Oh, what am I ever gonna do?
Now make a wish.
It's not enough cake.
Blow out the candle. Here you go, human. I got you a present.
We're gonna open this present and take that out as a promotion.
The boss of this department.
And so time will be coming up here. And time. 41:30. It's not bad.
There you have it. You now fully understand.
Well, that's Job Simulator. I actually didn't do too bad of a live commentary. I'm probably just gonna use this since I don't actually have a lot of time before submissions to record an overdub. So.
The research development team has created a
I actually got this guy's glasses, even though it's like out of bounds.
Stand back, human. Oh,
Just kind of have to.
yes.
Oh, that's going the wrong way.
Great timing.
Sometimes this is nice.
With museum human
There we go.
retention. Give these job mods a try, human.
So these are job mods that I was talking about. I was considering these as possible donation incentives. It's stuff like low gravity mode, bouncy mode, and dollhouse mode. Pretty much dollhouse makes everything small, bouncy mode makes all the levels, like all the items bouncy, and low gravity makes everything float. However, dollhouse mode doesn't look that interesting. It makes the run harder, but all I'm doing is pretty much sitting on the floor, doing everything and just trying to awkwardly turn. It doesn't really add anything to the experience though, because looking at it, it's not too noticeable that everything is smaller, so I decided to not do dollhouse mode. Now, bouncy mode and low grav mode, you can actually stack these on top of each other. So like you can do 2 job mods at the same time. However, when you do low grav mode, bouncy mode, no matter what, is pretty much negated. Like the effects are negated if you do low grav mode with it. There's no point of doing them at the same time. So it'd be either this or this. However, bouncy mode doesn't, low grav mode doesn't actually really affect the speed run too much. It just allows us to place items in the air, which actually makes it faster. And bouncy mode doesn't really affect it either. So I just decided not to use these as incentives. Instead, just have the 100%. And with the 100%, if people did vote for the 100%, then there would be no way to actually use these. What the heck? Okay, that's weird. My hand's gone. But if we did do 100% mode, then there's no way for us to be able to do a legitimate 100% run and have these job mods on. So I just decided the only incentives I'm going to have for this is 100%. Now, along with this, I realized another donation incentives that we can do, and this is just for all VR, since I know a lot of us are submitting VR runs, at least in the VR community, a lot of us are submitting VR runs to hopefully have a VR block. One thing that I was hoping we can do is just have it where we have an incentive to either glue or like tape on googly eyes onto all the VR headsets. I just think this would be funny. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for considering my run, and yeah. I never stopped the timer, did I? Okay. Have a good day.